Hey everyone, Jenelle Cameron here from Jenelle Cameron Real Estate, and I'm here to talk about condos today and all the different things that you should consider if you're thinking about buying a condo. There are so many options in Toronto, there's almost too many. So when we think about buying condos, we really have to narrow down what's important and try to figure out our criteria. Often I get asked by clients, oh, I want to buy a condo, where's the best building? So many factors to consider, right? So let's talk about what should be important, because it leads to what we call analysis paralysis, because there are just so many units out there, it's almost impossible to decide where to go. In fact, in Toronto right now, there are 2,693 units for sale, and 900 of those are in the downtown core. So of course, when you're thinking about buying something, it's really confusing, like what's the best place? So let's talk about some of the things that you should be keeping in mind. The very first thing is where you want to be, right? Seems obvious, but I can't tell you how many people say, I want to buy a condo downtown. That's it. So we got to figure out where. And these are the factors that you want to think about when you're deciding where. Number one, probably is going to depend on whether you need it to be TTC accessible, right? A lot of people who are buying condos don't have cars. It's about 50%. And so we need to say, okay, do you need to be near the TTC or not, right? Second thing, of course, is walkability. Condo buying is like a lifestyle for a lot of people. It's not just a home. So if that's something that you think that you want, more of a condo lifestyle, then that's something you need to consider. And then of course, affordability is a huge one, because most of these units are more expensive when they're in a better location. That's just location, location, location. That's real estate. So no change here when it comes to condos. So kind of figuring that part out in the beginning is the best place to start. Then the next most important thing is, what kind of condo do you want? Do you want a high-rise building, right? Some of the new ones they're making now, that's where they are. All the towers we see downtown, big high-rises, they've got lots of stuff in them. Maybe that's your style. Or maybe you like more of a boutique low-rise building. Certainly have a lot of those around the city too. Whether you want a condo town or a stackable townhome. And that's important, because there are people out there that don't want to maintain a home, but they kind of like the privacy and the front door option of having something like a condo town. So that's an option for you. And then of course, lofts, which a lot of people love the idea of a loft. There are lots of pros and cons. We have hard lofts and soft lofts. And by the way, the hard lofts are more the industrial style. Those are lofts that have been retrofitted or converted from usually some other sort of building. The soft lofts are the new ones that they build now, lots of light, and they call them lofts, but they're really just kind of apartments for the most part. So what is it that you like? What's your style, right? A lot of lofts, for example, don't have outdoor space, so that's something that you want to keep in mind. These are all factors in the style that you want, right? Next, the big one is amenities. What do you need? Do you want a pool? Do you want a pool table? Do you want a library? I mean, these are things that are really important to a lot of people. Again, if you're thinking about a condo and it's more of a lifestyle, then you probably want a lot of amenities. Maybe you want the restaurant in the basement, but maybe you don't. And so you're going to pay for them, which is the important thing. So if you don't want to pay a lot of maintenance fees, we're going to talk about that next, maybe finding a building with less amenities is more suited to you, right? Or maybe you're never going to use that pool or that gym. But maybe you think that you will. So figure that part out. That's really important, because that really dictates the price of a lot of buildings and a lot of their maintenance fees. So maintenance fees, and please don't be afraid of maintenance fees, because every building is different. They're not always really outrageously expensive. I think there's this perception out there from people that say, oh, I don't want to pay maintenance fees. But what you may not realize is that that fee may include all of your utilities, maybe even cable, parking. It's a convenience for you, right? You never have to shovel snow again. You don't have to cut the grass. All of that can be included, obviously, as part of the maintenance fee. So you have to do the math, really figure out what works for you. It doesn't necessarily always, add up to a really exorbitant amount of money where you get nothing. Like a lot of times you actually get a lot for what you're paying for. Maintenance fees, by the way, tend to be a lot less in a condo townhome. So you will, obviously you don't have a lot of amenities, you don't get the same type of services, but you don't pay as much either. Probably the average condo townhome in the city is maybe between $200 and $300 a month, so it's pretty reasonable. Also doesn't give you much. So all of that really depends on what your needs are, again, right? What's important to you, but you have to do the math. And so when you're looking at a listing sheet, make sure that you understand what those maintenance fees cover and whether or not it seems like it's worth it for you. So that's all I have today about condos. There's so much information, I could go on for days. So if you have more questions or there's anything in particular you'd like to know, just reach out anytime and let me know. Have a great day.